Tonight, a House divided. Lawmakers spent the day debating the impeachment of President Trump. We'll have the latest from Capitol Hill. Plus, fighting the child care shortage, how the city of Duluth plans to tackle the issue. But first, entering the environmental review process. Twin Metals takes a big step in its proposed mine plan near Ely.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Anthony has the night off. A big move for Twin Metals today. The company submitted its mine plan to the state of Minnesota, kicking off the first step of what's expected to be a very lengthy environmental review. Here's an overview of what Twin Metals wants to do. They're proposing to build Minnesota's first underground copper, nickel, cobalt, and platinum group metals mine. It would be located near the Boundary Waters, 9 miles southeast of Ely and 11 miles northeast of Babbitt. According to Twin Metals, the minerals they want to mine are between 400 and 5,000 feet underground. While some people are concerned that process could negatively impact the Boundary Waters, others cite the benefits that the estimated 700 long-term and 1,400 spin-off jobs could bring to the area. Now, it's up to the Minnesota DNR to prepare an environmental impact statement based on Twin Metals' 300-page mine plan. CBS3's Jenna Wells joins us now to break down that process. Jenna.
Yeah, Kristen, DNR officials say the process to get to that impact statement is broken down into 3 parts. So the first phase looks at any potential environmental or socioeconomic issues. This is considered the scoping phase. It also looks at possible project alternatives and includes a public comment period. When the scoping phase is completed, the DNR uses all of the information gathered to come up with a final environmental impact statement. Next, the DNR holds a second public comment period, and after that, they'll determine if the impact statement is adequate based on state law. That decision is separate from the permitting process. Barb Naramore with the DNR told CBS3 in a phone interview that just the scoping phase itself could take anywhere from 1 to 2 years.
We certainly don't want any regulatory process to take longer than it needs to take, but we are careful to make sure that as we enter each phase, we think very carefully about what's needed and take the time to do the job right.
A permit can only be issued if the DNR finds the final environmental impact statement adequate. So far, the DNR has not received Twin Metals permit applications. In November, the Minnesota DNR decided to conduct its own separate environmental review from federal agencies. You can read more about the documents involved in that process on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
All right, thanks, Jenna. We spoke with officials from Twin Metals about their submission. Public Relations Manager Kathy Grahl tells CBS3 that the documents submitted are an example of more than a decade of work that includes engineering, hydrogeological and environmental work, and research. While this is a big milestone for Twin Metals, Grahl says they still have a lot of work to do.
We have a lot more research to do, a lot more data gathering to do in the coming years, and that process is really designed to allow us to prove to the state and federal agencies and the public and tribal governments that we can meet those standards.
To date, more than $450 million has been invested in the project, and they anticipate investing a total of $1.7 billion in design, environmental review, permitting, and construction. Meanwhile, we're getting reaction from both sides tonight. Republican Representative Pete Stauber, who represents Minnesota's 8th Congressional District, wrote that the area needs the jobs and metals this project will provide. The Republican added that he believes Twin Metals' proposal will meet all regulations. Save the Boundary Waters also issued a statement. Its director, Tom Landwehr, called out the Trump administration, saying it corrupted the federal environmental review process. He accused federal leaders of jamming the Twin Metals project into a state process that was never intended to protect the Boundary Waters. Landwehr, by the way, is Minnesota's former DNR commissioner. Let's check in now with Dave for a look at the weather. I hear a bit of a warm-up might be coming our way.
A heck of a warm-up,
Yeah.
Kristen. Yeah, some towns were flirting with 30 below this morning.
Yeah.
In another day or two, we'll be flirting with 30 above. 60-degree temperature change. The agent of change is a warm front coming in from the west, which is right now increasing clouds around the region and inducing some snow showers, especially in the tip of the Arrowhead. Up towards Cook County, folks, there might get an inch of snow overnight. The rest of us really just flurries. So we eye up the day planner for Thursday. It should start on the cloudy side and warmer instead of 30 below zero. Then 12 above by noon, and maybe a few peaks of sun in the afternoon as higher pressure tries to take over. 20 above for a high temp tomorrow, better than the 5 or so many towns got today. But for the weekend, 30 above. We'll talk about how long that'll last in just a bit.
Thanks, Dave. With these bitter cold temperatures, Minnesota's governor is asking for more shelter for those who don't have a warm place to go. Tomorrow morning, Governor Tim Walz is set to announce a new partnership aimed at reducing unsheltered homelessness in the state. He'll highlight that need during a trip to the Iron Range. The Democrat is set to hold a roundtable with Arrowhead Economic Opportunity Agency staff. He'll also visit Bill's House, a shelter in Virginia. A city-run nonprofit will help grow child care access in Duluth, one grant at a time. Today, the 1200 Fund, along with the City of Duluth, announced a new grant and loan program. They plan to issue a total of $500,000 to licensed child care providers in Duluth. The goal is to create jobs and improve access to and quality of local child care.
Because this is becoming more than just a family crisis, it's a community crisis, it's an issue for our businesses and our business community, and I think finally we're deciding as a community to step up and do good work for it.
The applications for the grant money will open on January 15th. Pay raises are on the way for some Wisconsin state employees. A special bipartisan legislative committee unanimously approved that motion this week. It includes a 2% pay raise each of the next 2 years for state workers, as well as UW system employees and workers on the Madison campus. The panel also rejected Governor Evers' call to set the minimum hourly wage at $15. All Wisconsin flags will be flown at half-staff today and tomorrow. The state's governor made the ruling to honor former Oneida Nation tribal chairman Rick Hill. He died last week at the age of 66. The House is currently debating impeaching President Trump. Lawmakers are poised to take the first House vote to impeach a president in 21 years. The House is considering 2 articles, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Democrats argue the president pressured Ukraine to announce an investigation into his political rival Joe Biden. Republicans closed ranks to defend the president and criticize Democrats.
95 of the Democrats on this floor today voted to impeach Donald Trump before the July 25th phone call ever happened between President Trump and President Zelensky.
Lawmakers are debating for 6 hours, split equally between Democrats and Republicans, before they vote separately on each article. President Trump has a rally in Michigan this evening. Around the same time, the House is expected to vote. That vote is anticipated to happen at roughly 6:30 tonight. We'll be sure to keep you updated with all of the new developments. We now know the name of the Hibbing man who died in a house fire. Authorities say Kevin Buckwitz died of smoke inhalation. The 55-year-old was inside his Hibbing home when it went up in flames early Tuesday morning. The home was a complete loss. The cause of the fire is still unknown. 2 people were injured in a Douglas County house fire. Authorities say the fire happened Sunday night in Lake Nebegaman. Firefighters had to rescue the 2 people inside, and both were taken to the hospital. We don't know tonight how badly they were injured. The cause of the fire is under investigation. St. Scholastica recently received the largest private and public donations the Duluth College has ever seen. In all, about $4 million will be funneled into the school's nursing program in the form of 2 separate grants. A private grant aims to address nursing shortages in rural and underserved communities. The public grant will help make state-of-the-art renovations to the nursing department.
We are truly a rural school of nursing, meaning that we prepare our undergraduate nursing students and our graduate nursing students to provide care to our communities.
The new facilities should be finished by the spring semester of 2021. Staff at William Kelly High School in Silver Bay will meet with the superintendent this week to discuss makeup days. This comes after a collapsed water pipe closed school for the whole week. The school superintendent says they'll look at a couple of different options for makeup days. One of those would include holding class during spring break in April. The superintendent also said they'll discuss plans to extend this semester into January. This will help students complete their final exams. A decision is expected to be reached by the end of this week. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, cuts could be coming to the food stamp program. We're hearing from a Minnesota family who says they would struggle without the help of the program.
Hit 15 below here in the Twin Ports this morning. As I mentioned, inland, some towns got pretty close to 30 below, but a warm spell is already wafting our way. We'll talk about its arrival, shaking off this cold snap, coming up after our break.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Spirit Mountain.
At Chevy, we're all about bringing families together.
This time of year, that's really important.
That's why our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more. Family is important to us.
So happy holidays.
And welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
Use your Chevy employee discount for everyone to get a total value of over $11,800 on this Silverado All-Star. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
For New Year's Eve only, join the DSSO in the ultimate Rocky Horror Picture Show experience, live and in concert. Visit DSSO.com for tickets.
We stuffed the garlic knot, then stuffed it on our delicious hand-tossed pizza. The stuffed garlic knots pizza from Pizza Hut. Order your mighty large pizza lined with 16 cheese-filled knots before they're gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Dish voice remote just got even more powerful. Why'd we put so much technology in there?
You don't think I've watched a lot of football? You want to put a little wager on it? Bet.
So you can settle that bet without ever taking your eyes off the game.
How many D1 football teams are there?
What you do with that power?
Oh, it's gotta hurt.
Well, that is totally up to you.
Don't look so sad, man. Come on, we're having fun.
New Dish voice remote with the Google Assistant. Dish, tuned into you.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with a Kubota BX tractor. With a PTO-powered front-mount snowblower, rotary broom, or snowblade, you can clear a path with ease. No other subcompact offers this kind of power and versatility. All designed to fit in your garage. Get financing as low as 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,000 instant cash rebate, plus a 6-year limited powertrain warranty. See your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
Yes. Choir, sing. Come on. Don't stop clapping now.
Happy Honda Days is on now. Unwrap the joy of a new CR-V, the best-selling CUV over the past decade.
That's all right.
From all of us here at CBS3, happy holidays!
CBS3 weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, on a bright note, this cold snap, one-day affair. But boy, did it get cold this morning. Look at that, 31 below towards Orr and Big Fork, 27 below for Hibbing. Like we mentioned, 15 below in Hermantown, 23 degrees below zero towards Hayward. Everybody on the brisk side, 8 below Ironwood, one of our hot spots. But even that's chilly enough. Well, the cold is going. A warm front's coming our way, so now a warm spell will affect us for several days. In fact, perhaps all the way through this time next week. All right, quick look at more temperatures around the region this morning include about 27 degrees below zero in Aiken. So chilly no matter how you slice it. Well, let's cast our eye upon the current conditions at Duluth International, where it is comparatively toasty at 3 above. Southeast wind 14 miles per hour, one of the agents of change, making things go the other direction. Southerly wind and a warm front will start to go towards 30 above. Maybe not tomorrow, but by Friday, yeah, that's a little better chance on Friday. But come Saturday, Sunday, then it really should be here in earnest. Right now, current temperatures include 7s from Watersmeet to Ironwood, 5 to 9 from Hayward to Ashland, and then we're looking at 3 degrees right now for our friends in Hermantown and Proctor as well. Getting up towards Orr, another 7 there. Ely's at 7 as well, and it's 6 right now, International Falls. Low temps tonight may go towards 5 below for inland parts of Minnesota and close to 0 for the rest of us. So again, a sign of the warm front doing its thing, increasing clouds and increasing snow chances. So the clouds are breezing in from the west, and they're starting to kick out a load of snow here for Cook County in Minnesota. That's where the best chance for the precip is, and the best chance for any accumulation too. From Grand Marais to Grand Portage, you might get about an inch there, while the rest of us just get flurries tonight. And the flurries won't last forever, and the cold won't last forever either. Once this low pressure system passes, we'll start to clear up a little bit by tomorrow afternoon, but once we get into Friday, a bit of a mix could come our way from a second low pressure system. That one, what'll it add up to as far as accumulations go? Probably not much. Right now it looks like the Friday system may affect Minnesota more than any other place, and we might get about a ½ inch. Now, forecast tonight in Minnesota. Low temps going up, 5 below to about 3 above, and maybe some flurries. Flurries possible for Wisconsin and the UP too, with 0 to 5 above the low temps there. For tomorrow, daytime highs, Wisconsin, Michigan, look at how balmy they are, 20 to 25 degrees, and slowly clearing to boot. And in Minnesota, a turnabout is fair play because it'll slowly clear there as well, with highs from 15 inland to 25 by the lake. And that's just a sign of the mild spell to come. We get into the 30s for the weekend, and they stay that way pretty much through Tuesday, maybe dropping to 29, Kristen, by Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Dave. For more than 34 million Americans, food stamps help them survive. But now there's concern that proposed changes in that federal program could drastically cut those benefits. Adriana Diaz reports from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
This is it. This is our house for 2 months before coming into shelter.
After Patience Coley and John Spinola's rent nearly doubled, they had to move out and into their car with their toddler and teenager.
And you would eat in here, sleep in here. Yes.
They say the stress and anxiety caused Patience to go on medical leave, leaving the family on one income.
It's like a snowball effect. Then the brakes go, then your alternator goes, then like you're trying to catch a break.
They survived in part thanks to food stamps under the government's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP. The average recipient gets about $127 a month. That's $1.40 a meal, 3 meals a day. But an estimated 3.7 million Americans could lose their benefits next year if the government implements 3 proposed changes. Removing automatic enrollment for families who first qualify for other government benefits, reducing how much people can deduct for utilities like heat, and requiring more able-bodied adults to work at least 20 hours a week to receive benefits. This last proposal has already been finalized and will be implemented in April.
They're going to need more help from us.
Allison O'Toole runs Second Harvest Heartland, the country's second largest food bank.
We have seen more visits than ever before.
What does that say to you?
It says the economy hasn't recovered in every place, and we provide 89 million meals in the Heartland. We're very proud of that, but we'd love to go out of business.
Through another government program, Patience and John found a house they can afford. They plan to move this week and will not qualify for SNAP once Patience starts working, but they still hope the program continues.
Part of the reason why the government is making these changes to SNAP is because they say the economy is doing great, unemployment is so low that a lot of people should be able to work who aren't working.
Where is the unemployment so low now that everyone's working? Doing anything to the SNAP, you're going to make the poor more poor.
Similar changes were proposed in last year's farm bill, but were left out of the final law. So the USDA is making these changes now on its own. 24 states have urged the government to reconsider, and some jurisdictions are considering legal action. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
All right, Kelly joins us now for a look at sports. What's going on?
We are talking hoops locally and at the state level. One of the best ever to wear a Gopher jersey. How Janelle McCarville's legacy will live on. That's coming up next in sports.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. CBS3 Live Cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. Presidential Award-winning service. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. KohlerToyota.com.
When you share the love, you change lives. Over 2,200 wishes granted. More than 57,000 pets supported. Over 100 national parks protected. Over 2 million meals provided. Through the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will have proudly donated over $170 million to national and hometown charities over 12 years.
Visit Miller Hill Subaru today during the Subaru Share the Love event, going on now through January 2nd. Visit us online at millerhill.com.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you got to think about, it's not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Extreme speed. Soar from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Extreme Wi-Fi 360. It's 360 degrees of coverage and a whole new way to Wi-Fi. Extreme power. Streaming so real, you can feel it. Feel it. Extreme reliability. Because your life depends on it.
The holiday season is truly the most wonderful time of the year. It's the perfect time to explore Duluth's beautiful downtown waterfront district. Enjoy our lights and sights of the season, local shops, restaurants, and entertainment. Duluth's Greater Downtown Council invites you to experience our city anew. Come downtown to find the perfect gift, enjoy a delicious meal, and reconnect with family and friends. Shop, dine, and celebrate together in Duluth's downtown waterfront district this holiday season.
On the economy, a unique leader, Mike Bloomberg's created over 400,000 jobs. As president, an opportunity economy that works for us. Tax fairness, where the wealthy pay their fair share. Education, affordable college and high-skill vocational training so people can succeed in the new economy. Economic security, lower-cost health care, and affordable middle-class housing. Proven leadership on jobs to build an economy where people don't just get by, they get ahead.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Bring all the gifts for under the tree. And while you're at it, bring the tree. Ford F-150. Built for the holidays.
Now for a limited time, lease an F-150 for just $259 a month. Or get over $11,500 in total savings. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
In her final season at Duluth Marshall, senior Grace Kirk is certainly leaving it all on the floor. The Hilltoppers are off to a perfect 5-0 start to start this season. They've outscored opponents, wait for it, 394 to 186, an average margin of 41.5 points per game. Now, a big part of that is because of Kirk, who has averaged 20.5 points per contest. Kirk's play on the hardwood has already paid off as well. She'll attend Brown University next year, but she's focusing on the success of her team this year, which she says has been a long time coming.
We have an identity now as a team. I think a lot of teams know we like to score, we like to run fast, and so it's nice. Points aren't everything for us. They just kind of happen because we're focusing more on defense this year. That's a new theme for us, I guess. We're making teams throw the ball away, and we're capitalizing on it.
Head coach CJO Suchiku says that Kirk, as a senior leader, has helped elevate the play of her teammates.
I know her first goal is to get other people involved. Right now she leads the state in assists. She tries to get all the girls involved, tries to get them going early. I think people look at her numbers and think she's like a ball hog and things like that, but she's nowhere near that. I mean, she only shoots about 12, 13 times a game. The average is about 25, 26 points. That's super efficient if you ask me.
That it is. Well, speaking of rock stars on the basketball court, one of the greatest ever to wear the Gopher women's basketball jersey, Janelle McCarville, had her jersey officially retired this past Sunday. McCarville played an instrumental role in the Gophers raising 4 NCAA tournament banners in the early 2000s. And to this day, the Stephen Point, Wisconsin native holds the school record for field goal percentage and is second in rebounds and blocks and third in steals. She certainly showed her excitement prior to Sunday's ceremony.
I'm very, very excited to be here. I've waited a long time for this moment. I'm glad the day has finally approached, and I get to spend it with my friends, family, and former teammates. You know, I'm not sure of the emotions I will have, but at this moment I'm very ecstatic and, you know, kind of jittery in a way.
In case you missed the news from last night, a trio of Vikings players were announced having made their way into the 2020 Pro Bowl down in Orlando. Those three would be safety Harrison Smith, defensive end Danielle Hunter, and running back Dalvin Cook. Cook and Smith have both been named starters. This will be Pro Bowl number 5 in a row for Smith and Cook's debut. The 2020 Pro Bowl is on Sunday, January 26th at 2 p.m., the week before the Super Bowl. But obviously teams that are in the Super Bowl don't play in the Pro Bowl. So for Vikings fans' sake, let's hope that none of these three have to play in the Pro Bowl. If you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Let's not actually say it.
That's why I'm not saying it.
Right.
Because, you know.
I see you. Yeah. All right.
You're catching what I'm laying down.
Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, President Trump is expected to become only the 3rd president in U.S. history to be impeached. The House of Representatives has been debating the vote on 2 articles of impeachment. Sorry about that, Dave. Abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Only a couple of Democrats in the House are expected to break with the party and vote against the charges. That vote is expected to happen any moment now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as more developments become available. The Northlands canine officers are spreading smiles today. We're going to have more on that on our website. It looks like we're kind of running out of time. Dave, hop on in here. Let's talk a little bit about weather before. Yeah, come on in.
Down a little bit here.
Let's talk about that warm up.
Yeah, what a nice
excited
warm up.
about that,
30 below for some towns this morning, 30 above in a couple days, 60-degree change up, and it could last through the weekend and into next week as well.
All right, sounds good. I'm looking forward to that. It was bone-chilling cold.
Yeah, it was only 15 below here in Duluth, and that was cold enough. I'm getting old.
Sure was. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.